Welcome back to Obscured Reality. Stephanie Mark back with you. Missing retired Major General William McCasland. There's more to the story with missing people. We update after update, and we're gonna get Stephanie's opinion after this. What's changed for her, if anything? I'm just gonna show you the notes I have for this, so you can see what I'm looking at, and we're gonna look at some data at the end of this. I think some somewhat important data, and could go either way, but you're going to see what I mean. So we're going to do a quick recap of the first few that were missing, as well as the rest. We're up to 10 now. The most recent is a Stephen Garcia. Now, keep in mind, all of these people went missing before McCasland went missing. However, as soon as McCasland went missing, you could clearly see just from him going missing that possible issue just doesn't seem right. And then people found Monica Reza, and then they just started coming out of the woodwork. Well, let's see what we're talking about. I'm gonna share my screen so you can follow along with the notes if you want to. Let me share it right now. So William McCasland, let's start with him, 68, missing from Albuquerque, New Mexico, last seen leaving his home on foot February 27, 2026. His work history: retired U.S. Air Force Major General, commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory, or AFRL, director of special programs in the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense. Earlier space and research leadership roles: work locations: Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, ding, 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 Ohio; Kirtland Air Force Base, ding, 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 in New Mexico; Los Angeles Air Force Base, California; Buckley Air Force Base, Colorado; the Pentagon, Washington, D.C. Oh my God. Monica Reza, the next one, 60 years old, missing from the Mount Waterman Angeles National Forest area in Los Angeles County, California. Last seen around 9:10 a.m. on June 22nd, 2025, while hiking near the 6,000-foot gate. Exactly what that means, I don't know. 6001 Trailhead, just address, I guess. Trailhead Avenue on Angeles Crest Highway. Work history: aerospace engineer, rocket scientist with Aerojet Rocketdyne ties. Work locations: Southern California aerospace sector, reported specifically as Aerojet Rocketdyne in California. Carl Grillmare, 67. He was killed in Llano Antelope Valley, California, a very remote area.
Yes,
But
I used to
it's
live in
right.
Antelope Valley.
Yeah, it's right by. Oh God, is it? Wow, God, I don't even. I'm sorry. Uh, he was fatally shot on his front porch on February 16th, 2026, and a suspect was later arrested and charged. Work history: astrophysicist, astronomer, longtime research scientist at Caltech. Earlier work at the Space Telescope Science Institute and UC Santa Cruz. Work locations: California Institute of Technology in Pasadena, California; Space Telescope Science Institute in Maryland; UC Santa Cruz in California. Now, to be clear on this shooting, this was a neighbor of his. This neighbor lived 2 miles away. Again, it was a pretty remote area. So a neighbor being minutes away is not uncommon in an area like this. There was a previous run-in with this neighbor. If I recall correctly, it possibly had to do with this neighbor being on his property. Cops were called, got rid of him, whatever. He came back later and this happened. Next, we have Nuno Felipe Gomez Loureiro, 47, killed in Brookline, Massachusetts. MIT said he died from gunshot wounds on December 16th, 2025, after being shot a few hours earlier at his home. Work history: plasma physicist, MIT professor of nuclear science and engineering and physics. Director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. Earlier academic work in the UK. Work locations: MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts, previously Imperial College, London. Frank Werner Mywald, 61, died in Los Angeles, California, July 4th, 2024. Work history: senior engineer, scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL. Work locations: JPL, Pasadena, California. You're going to start seeing quite a few commonalities here.
Oh,
Mike,
already kind of are.
yeah, Michael David Hicks, 59, died in Sunland, Los Angeles County, California on July 30th, 2023. Work history: NASA postdoctoral researcher and then research scientist at JPL from 1998 to 2022. Specialized in the physical properties of comets and asteroids. Worked on DART, NEAT, Dawn, and Deep Space One. Work locations: JPL, California. And I'm going to read through this stuff quick so we can get through this. But we'll wind up talking. Melissa Casillas, 53, missing from Taos County, Talpa, New Mexico. Ding, ding, ding. Last seen June 26, 2025, walking southbound on State Road 518 after earlier trying to go to work and then returning home when she forgot her badge. She left behind personal items. Her work history: possible administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory, or LANL. Work locations: Los Alamos, LANL, in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Anthony Chavez, 78, missing from Los Alamos, New Mexico. Last seen May 4th, 2025, leaving his home on 37th Street on foot. Work history: retired Los Alamos National Laboratory employee. Work locations are allegedly unverified. Secondary claims point to Los Alamos. Stephen Abel Garcia. This is, I believe, him or the next one. I believe Garcia is the most recent one that came up. 47 at disappearance, missing from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Last seen on August 28, 2025, with the official missing person record saying he was last seen in Albuquerque and listing a green camo shirt. Work history: Kansas City National Security Campus, New Mexico site. Now, there is some speculation around this portion right here. Good luck. I did some digging and I'm not finding much. Jason Thomas, 45, missing from Wakefield, Massachusetts, later found deceased in Lake Quannapowitt in March 2026. He had left home on foot late at night on December 13th, 2025. Police said they did not suspect foul play. Work history: scientist at Novartis. Work locations: Massachusetts, with reporting identifying him as a Novartis scientist in the Boston area biotech corridor. Now, I want to be clear before continuing. A lot of this information I use ChatGPT for. Okay, these people have already been listed. So I did use ChatGPT to get more details on some of this. Had to do a lot of research myself as well. As we now know, for me at least, I kind of look at ChatGPT almost like Wikipedia. You can't, it's very good with some things, other things it's not quite as good at. It turns out researching it's not that good at, because there's clear names that have been clearly listed with clearly verified backgrounds, and ChatGPT was not finding some of these. It was finding them, but like, that's a common name though, and blah, blah, blah. And it already knows what I'm relating all this to. So I had to do digging, even more digging, to paste some stuff into ChatGPT to say, here's who I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck up. So the next, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, some of this next stuff is what it really utilized ChatGPT for, coming up with some things, and more towards the end, as you'll see. So let's get into it. So geographic clustering, New Mexico Southwest cluster. We have William McCasland, Albuquerque; Melissa Casillas, Taos County; Anthony Chavez, Los Alamos; Stephen Garcia, Albuquerque. Locations of where they were when these things happened to them. These four are all within roughly 1 to 2 hour radius. Same region tied to Los Alamos, LANL, and Kirtland Air Force Base. The California cluster includes Monica Reza, Carl Grillmere, Monica Reza, Angeles National Forest; Carl Grillmere, Antelope Valley; Frank Mywald, JPL; Michael Hicks, JPL, Pasadena. These are all within the Southern California Aerospace Corridor near JPL, Aerojet Rocketdyne, and Edwards Air Force Base, Antelope Valley.
Yep.
Massachusetts cluster: Nuno Loureiro, Brookline or MIT; Jason Thomas, Wakefield, Boston area. Both in Boston Cambridge Tech and Academic Hub. So the pattern of leaving on foot. these cases share similar disappearance behavior. McCasland left home on foot. Casillas walking along road. Chavez left home on foot. Garcia left on foot. Jason Thomas left home on foot. Jesus. Uh, this is a real pattern, but it is also common in missing person cases, often tied to medical issues, stress, or voluntary walks. Technical science related profession. Some overlap here. Confirmed high level science defense. McCasland, AFRL, Air Force Research Laboratory, Defense Leadership. Reza, Aerospace Engineering. Grillmare, Astrophysics. Lurero, Plasma Physics. Mywald, JPL. Hicks, JPL. Thomas, Pharmaceutical Scientist. Not confirmed technical roles. Casillas, Administrative Assistant. So there's also some speculation on that. Chavez, unverified, possibly retired Los Alamos, and Garcia's unverified. So a few of these are good luck finding some info on it, man. It's weird. So 7 of 10 are clearly technical or science related. 3 of 10 are not confirmed in that category.
Mhm.
So case type differences: missing, unresolved. McCasland, Reza, Casillas, Chavez, and Garcia. Homicides: identified suspects, Grillmare and Lurero. Deaths: non-criminal, no foul play suspected, Mywald, Hicks, Jason Thomas. Now, I want to also point out on that, some of these where they say non-criminal and no foul play suspected, they don't have a clue what happened to them. It's no different than there's literally no clue. ChatGPT spitting some of this out for a reason, and I'll tell you why. As you know, it's labeling them in these groups for a reason, and it's correct. But when you go read into them, you will see a few of these, along with like Reza and McCasland. There's literally nothing. Nobody has a freaking clue what happened. The timeline clustering: 2023 Hicks, 2024 Mywald, 2025 Reza, Casillas, Chavez, Garcia, Lurero, Thomas, 2026 McCasland and Grillmare. Jesus.
For now.
You really see the pickup right there.
Mhm.
Heavy concentration, obviously mid 2025 to early 2026. Location and profession overlap. New Mexico group: McCasland, Air Force Research Laboratory. Casillas, Los Alamos. Chavez, Los Alamos resident. Garcia, Albuquerque resident. Shared is the same region tied to nuclear defense infrastructure. California group: Reza, Aerospace. Grillmare, Caltech. Mywald, JPL. Hicks, JPL. Hold on, got a cough. Shared between them is space and aerospace ecosystem. Massachusetts group: Lurero, MIT Fusion Research. Thomas, Biotech Pharma. Shared research academic hub. So the bottom line, there's real overlaps. Geographic clustering: New Mexico, California, Massachusetts. Many tied to science or defense ecosystems. Timeline overlap: 2025, 2026 spike. Several left on foot disappearances. So I told ChatGPT, I've been wanting this for a little while now. I want to break down. I want to know what it would classify at least these 10 people. How would you classify them from the rest of the population? Okay, so we determined that. From there, went into, in that particular classification, out of the entire United States population, approximately how many people fit that classification? We come up with between 3 to 8 million people. Then we look at, okay, there's a lot of specifics here, but how many of these types of people that fit this classification go missing, or possible mysterious deaths, things like that? So this is kind of where we were getting at with this whole thing and how it came about with ChatGPT to get this type of data. And we're going to have more here, which you'll see. And then breaking that down into like percentages, and then comparing that to the rest of the United States population minus this 3 to 8 million and how many go missing there. And it broke that down into some timelines as well. So let's continue on. Final takeaway on what we've read already: there is a pattern in location, profession, partially, and timing. Classification. So this is what it did for me. A mixed group of individuals disproportionately drawn from high skill technical professions and communities geographically tied to U.S. defense and research infrastructure. Again, this is about 3 to 8 million people that would fit these 10 types of people, according to ChatGPT. So here's what we had it do. And this is why I want to show you the notes mainly so you could get a good look at this. So this column here, forget the weird markings here. I forgot to take those out. Copying, pasting that over, screwed it up. Had to fix everything else. So this is your 3 to 8 million people. So your McCaslands and your Rezas of the world. And then here's the remaining general population. So I had it go back in 5-year periods of time, 2026 22, 2025 to 2021. So they are overlapping. Let's keep that in mind. So let's start at the oldest, 2010. You see in the McCasland and Reza type people, we're at 0 to 1 all the way up to 2017. And then what do we see? 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Let's not forget there is some overlap in there. So this 5 to 6 may include 1 or 2 or whatever from this one, right? So just keep that in mind. The general population, we see a consistent uptick. Just look at the max 55,000, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. You see it steadily going up every year. And what this is showing is missing people or mysterious deaths, unexplained. You see a consistent uptick in the general population. You see no uptick here until you get right around here somewhere. Does this ring any bells to you? We're basically starting here, 2017, 2021, up to here. Is anything coming to mind here, Stephanie?
COVID.
No.
You said
yeah, but no.
No, just tell me.
2017 is when all this UAP bullshit started up again, right? The gimbal, the go fast, all that stuff. Lou Elizondo, Tom DeLonge, Into the Stars, Chris Mellon, all that bullshit. Not saying there's a relation. You have to keep in mind there's an overlap here, but this is where we did start seeing the uptick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. We're done reading, but just keep that in mind. Now, there could be more people to classify or that would fit in this classification as well, that this isn't accounting for. It's just basing it off of these 10 people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're who they are, what they do. That's how it's coming up with the 3 to 8 million. It could be more than that, right? We don't know really. So this is very interesting, I think. It doesn't necessarily mean or prove anything. I'm not showing you the percentages it came up with, but the percentage of people in this classification that have gone missing and or deceased mysteriously, the percentage of this population here that's happened to is far less than the percentage of this population. I mean, they're both very small comparatively to the size of each of the two populations, but this percentage is even smaller than this one. So it would seem not out of the norm. What does seem out of the norm is where we see the uptick here, right? And the patterns with at least these 10 people. There's clear patterns here, relations, right? You just can't deny that there are overlaps.
Oh, for sure.
So it's interesting to see the data. I think this type of data definitely helps and could help keep people grounded. But looking at what we're looking at, just starting with the 10 people that we went over, anything change for you? Do you have any updated thoughts on what's going on or possibly going on, I should say?
I mean, could still be, something that they're experiencing at work, making them lose their minds slowly, like a chemical or something. I don't know. Or, yeah, they're just losing their minds, getting snatched up by, Creedy's black bags, like people. I don't know. It could be. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they could very well be getting black bagged.
So what do you think when you see that little chart at the end showing this classified group of people?
It does not surprise me, honestly. When you
see that and you compare it to the general United States population, where does that take you on this?
Makes me wonder what the hell the government's doing this time.
So
Because I mean, it very
you may
much
have a
started,
slight shift in your opinion. It
huh?
sounds like, yeah, it sounds like you might have a slight shift in your opinion. Slight, could be wrong.
I mean, alive is better than dead, but unfortunately, some of our friends that we've mentioned are. So, I mean, I of course would like to have the best case scenario, and he's okay, but I'm still very aware and accepting of the fact that probably not. Real,
You're
realistically,
referring to McCasland, or
yes.
okay?
But
Well, I'm just
for everybody else, it's just it is interesting. 'Cause, like, yeah, it's what is the government up to now? Essentially, that's kind of how I see it. Like,
yeah.
it's
Well,
too many coincidences to be a coincidence at this point.
it's funny to me that you go straight to the government, assuming you're referring to our government.
Yes.
Let's not forget there's a Chinese government and a Russian government. Let's not
I,
forget, according to plenty of people out there, there's also aliens and flying saucers.
I am totally aware, but I'm also totally aware of the terrible things that our government has done to us
Right.
right under
Yeah.
our nose. So,
Yep.
do I put it past them? Absolutely the fuck not.
Of course not.
No, no.
So
So,
yeah, and it mentioning the 2017 2018 timeframe, and keep in mind
it
2018 is
correlates.
when this really started happening, because the
Mhm.
gimbal, the go fast, and the tic tac video, that was 2017, and boom, I believe Lou Elizondo came out in early 2018. That's right where the uptick starts. Not saying there's a relation, but the conspiracy theorists are going to go that route. And honestly, this is just more fuel for the fire. I honestly can't blame them on this, because you could see just from McCasland going missing, it seemed there could be odd. And then you see all this other shit, and it's like,
I feel like it is odd.
it needs to be looked into, I think,
I agree.
just to be safe, right?
I
Well,
I mean, again, there's too many people at this point to be a coincidence.
yeah. Well, a lot of these didn't really make much news.
Of
Their
course not.
jobs didn't really seem to matter. It wasn't until McCasland, retired Major General,
Hmm.
missing. Like, whoa, wait, a Major General just went missing? Well, he's retired, so he's probably older. And we look into it, we see he's older. Then you look
Very
at the
easy story to.
circumstances, and
I mean, it's
yeah,
an easy story to pass off for somebody who
yeah.
is just like, oh, now
But
they're.
had that oddity not occurred, nobody would have even blinked twice and seen all
Mm.
these other people. And I'm sure there's going to be more that are going to pop up. I
Oh
don't see
yeah,
how
for
it
sure.
wouldn't. But let's not forget, we have places like China, the Chinese government. We know all of these governments, including ours, have done this type of thing, having to deal with scientists and like people in other countries and disappearing them. We have this back at the invention of I believe, the nuclear bomb, right? We took them from Germany. Am I not mistaken there?
Yeah,
I forget the guy's name, but we took them,
Oppenheimer.
paid them. Yeah, brought them out here, paid them. Here you go. And good for us, I guess. But
I mean,
let's not
we
forget,
took Einstein and others as well. But,
quite a few previous administrations have been allowing Chinese governmental people with ties to the government buy up huge swaths of land in the United States. We're talking farming land,
mhm.
and other places near sensitive installations, and they're not giving two shits about it. And if they are, they're not leading on that they are. They have to be monitoring it. I don't know how they wouldn't be. Let's not forget that's been a big concern for a while now, and I think even the current president has spoken out on this recently. Um, there's always that possibility, but you also have the other possibility that the really hardcore conspiracy theorists are going to come up with, which is the whole alien and flying saucer crap.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
and on that, I want to say I did listen to a interview the other day on YouTube of a lady who is a psychic, claims to be a psychic, I will say. And
Oh, tell me more.
she was channeling into Monica Reza. Monica Reza went missing on the trail in Angeles National Forest. from what I recall reading, I got to look into this. I meant to tonight. I didn't have much time. I believe they were close to the end of their hike. I could be wrong, but I believe they were. There was 2 or 3 of them. Initial reports were 3 people. They got separated. Then Monica and the other guy got separated. And when he was about 30 feet in front of her, he stopped, turned around, saw her, waved. She smiled and waved, and they continued on. It wasn't 10 minutes later. They're like, where the hell is she? She should have been here right now. It tells me they stopped, came to a stopping point. She should have been there to their belief within a couple minutes. She wasn't. They hiked back up to where he last saw her, gone. It's silent out there. I heard something about you could yell from up there or the parking lot and you'd be able to hear back and forth because it's close enough to the parking area, possibly from what I heard. I got to do a little more digging into that, but it's weird. There's nothing found, no markings, no signs of foul play, distress, blood, animal, nothing. Nothing. They searched for the helicopter, people, canine.
A black van probably pulled up and was like, "Get in."
Oh, yeah, on the trail, on a single track trail. Yeah.
No. They probably
Like
snatched her up in a bag and fucking.
As my kids always say, kidnapper van.
Yes, in a kidnapper van. Little bag, a little. Does it smell like chloroform to you? And boop, boop, away we go.
But see, this is where we always, and we got to get back into the psychic thing, but questions always come up. Where is the questioning of the people she was with? Did you, as from the time you last saw her, did anybody pass you going the opposite way? If so, male, female, both? Did anything odd pop into your head?
There's a lot of questions that have not been asked.
Yeah. Did you think like, oh, something weird about that person? The 20 minutes prior to seeing her for the last time, did you pass anyone? When you were hiking up the trail, did it seem like anyone was staying behind you?
They were almost at the end of their hike.
I don't know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
It seems like it. From the way things have been worded and described, it seems like it. I'm not positive.
Okay.
It really seems like it. But there's more questions. So the psychic was channeling Reza, and I see her. Yeah, nope. She's wanting me to know all this stuff, right? She's saying, yeah, he was about 30. It was a little more than 30. It was probably 40, 50 feet. And they went around this turn. He had gone around this turn. Well, when Monica got up there, she went off this way. And like, there's no visual, so you don't know what she's really saying, but she went off this way and then she just disappeared. She said she stepped into a portal.
Goodbye. I'm done. All right. Wrap it up. We done. This is
Well, this is where those enthusiasts are going to go with this stuff. But just think about that for a second. What could be more possible than extraterrestrial life, portals and bullshit? Some crazy technology we have come up with, because we're way ahead in technology than where they're telling us. It's always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the chances? We've invented stuff that can do some crazy shit, and maybe some of these people were part of possibly trying to disclose some of this stuff, because it's been a big thing since 2017. I don't know, but if you want to hear something weird, did you hear about the recent fighter plane of ours that was shot down in Iran?
I have, yes.
Did you hear about the WISO, or the weapons systems officer? So basically the co-pilot, most people would think of it as. He was missing.
I did not hear that.
Okay. Well, we found him in Iran.
Oh, yeah?
And we rescued him. So you clearly didn't hear about how we did that.
Nope.
They found him from 40 miles away by his heartbeat.
The fuck?
We have a technology. From what I gathered, it looked like it may be mounted on a Black Hawk. They were able to detect his heartbeat. This is in the news. They were able to detect it. They literally, the Trump cabinet came out and talked about this.
I'm looking this up.
They were able to determine his heartbeat from about 40 miles away. That's how they found him. Exactly where he was. Not a joke. 100%. Look it up right now. I want to see your reaction. Fucking look it up. Prove me wrong. Dude, crazy shit. So to think that we might not have some crazy technology out there that could just make someone disappear, maybe think vaporize, who knows? Who the hell knows? They're not going to tell us.
How the pilot was found and rescued. Locating the pilot, the CIA identified the airman's. This is the one found in the cave, right?
Yep.
Okay. CIA identified the airman's precise location in the mountainous area of Iran. Emergency beacon. The airman activated a beacon that transmitted his location, enabling tracking. The CIA launched a deception campaign to feed false information about the pilot's location to Iranian forces. Hundreds of special operation troops were involved with the extraction, with U.S. aircraft bombing the surrounding area to keep Iranian forces away from the site. So he had a tracking beam.
Let me add to that what you're not seeing there. Discovery, the CIA and special operations teams used advanced tracking technology to locate his exact position in a mountain crevice. Initial reports suggest a new secret sensor technology called Ghost Murmur was utilized to pick up his signal in the mountainous terrain. This thing about the heartbeat was in the news. Ghost Murmur. Ghost Murmur is a highly classified CIA technology reportedly developed by Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. No surprise.
Hence the eye rolls from the two of us.
Used to pinpoint a downed U.S. airman's heartbeat in Iran, April 2026. The system allegedly utilizes quantum magnetometry and AI to filter environmental noise and detect faint magnetic signals from a human heart over vast distances, though physicists have expressed skepticism regarding its feasibility at extreme range. Purpose: locate hidden, trapped, kidnapped personnel in remote, low clutter environments. Y'all can look that up and read more.
Yeah,
but
a little bit like that.
That's my point in mentioning that is we have shit that nobody knows about. Very select few have a clue about that. Maybe that could be a possibility in some of these instances due to what was going on. Maybe they were looking at being part of helping disclosure. We already know, verified, McCasland was conversing with Tom DeLonge of To the Stars. The 100% exact details, yeah, I'd love to hear from Tom DeLonge, but I also don't 100% trust Tom DeLonge. So I'd like to hear from him, but I'd take it with a grain of salt, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right, that's the full gist, everything. Where are you at? Have you really, has your opinion changed now? Because before, where were you before? You were, you know,
I thought that he was just like
not him, just in general, all of them. We've mentioned up to 6 before. Now we're at 10. But where your opinion was before on what's happening with these people versus now, not just McCasland.
I think it's our government. If it's going to be anyone's government, it's going to be ours. So,
any idea why? Like what idea why? Yes, you have an idea of what your opinion is. What is you have an opinion as to any possibilities as to why?
Yes. I think that there is a new push, a new directive to make better technology, push warfront technology further forward again. And it's super, super top secret.
They wouldn't have to kidnap these people to do it, or the ones that are alive or not guaranteed deceased. Like they could just say, here's $1 million. Here's $1 million. Dude, a kid on YouTube just unlocked the bullshit daycares in Massachusetts or Minnesota, and shit happened because of that. That same kid just unlocked all these bullshit hospice centers in California, and now they've made arrests off of that shit, and Newsom's even spoken out on it. And there's a little back and forth between Newsom and this kid where the kid's like, fuck you, start working for the people and giving a shit. They have the money. They clearly don't give a fuck about the money. They could offer them each $5 million. We need you to work for a year on something.
Yeah. Drop everything, walk away.
Why would they have to kidnap them?
Who says they're kidnapped? Maybe they willingly walked away into the kidnapper's arms now.
Possible, but I don't, with some of these people, I don't see that. Also, keep in mind, McCasland's wife, she has some higher up.
Doesn't mean shit if you're not involved with the project.
she's involved with military government
Okay, but not that
work.
project.
Yeah, I know, but she's higher up there too, not as high as McCasland.
Still
Um,
need to know basis.
no, of course. I
Yeah,
just want to mention. I don't think we've ever mentioned that,
we
but
have. Oh, we definitely have mentioned that she's.
I d- I don't see some of these people. Some of them, very few, like two, maybe three. I don't see some of them saying okay and just walk away, say nothing, and they're gone. I don't see that happening.
I didn't say all of them, but I mean, you
I
asked.
know.
That's the majority idea of what I have.
Yeah.
But
Ugh,
I don't know.
man.
I don't know. The more that comes out, the more my brain is just like I don't really know
Yeah.
at this point.
Yep. I am 100% with you. I'm staying
Mhm.
grounded because there's real reasons why, real prosaic reasons why McCasland could have gone missing. We see the discrepancies from what his wife said in the first week to 2 weeks and how there was a big discrepancy in what she said versus what we heard on the 911 call.
Yeah.
Why didn't she say that publicly? It was on the 911 call. Now she's made the whole thing look stupid. But it's still weird, mysterious. So is Reza. I mean, I'm staying grounded, but I want to know a lot more.
Yeah.
So that's it. If y'all have any info on this, any comments, I'm definitely curious your opinions. Comment, obviously. Obscuredr1@gmail.com. If you have obscured story of your own, shoot us an email, type story in the subject line. Let us know your story. We'll tell it for you on here. If you want to come on the show, tell your own story, we'd love that. With that said, for the second episode in a row, I'm going to go missing. Peace.